Hi everyone! Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as Megan_Babauta_ or on Ravelry as Mama Made VM. And as I say, you are all very welcome here. So with my floss tubes, I just like to jump right in. I don't have much to say in the beginning. I just kind of go with the flow. So I'm going to start with my starts as usual. And I started with Jess from Stitches of Sass. We decided from the idea of Kitschy Whips, Maggie, she had these two patterns, Laddie and Lacey, and we decided to Sal them together and affectionately call the Sal Creepy Baby Sal. So we're having a lot of fun. We started this not this weekend, but the prior weekend on Saturday. I made us matching project bags. So these are made by me. I lined them with like this burgundy kind of blood red fabric, and I just thought the skulls was perfect because it had the lace and the skulls and it was so much fun. So I'm starting with Lacey and I'm stitching it on an 18 count Picture This Plus Ada in the color Barnwood. And here is my progress on Lacey. So I'm really loving the variegation in the hair. I think that the shading in these patterns is absolutely amazing. They're definitely vintage. They came out in 1988, so I believe that's considered vintage now. I don't want to even acknowledge that fact, but I'm pretty sure that's the case, and I can say for sure this is some beautiful work. I mean, these leisure arts patterns are amazing, and the quality of the chart is spectacular, like better than some of the modern charts I've purchased off of like Etsy. So definitely loving this. I'm gonna insert a couple of pictures here just to show you guys the color of the fabric, because I felt like although this is actually picking up pretty good, it's a little bit more purple in person, I would say. So I wanted to insert some photos so you guys can see, but I really love the Barnwood. It's a beautiful color. It's just one of those ones because it's kind of gray, but also purple. It wants to lean towards the gray side. But yeah, I'm loving this. I'm starting from the top and I'm making adjustments to the pattern as I go, because again, we are making them Halloween themed. So we are making adjustments to make them look creepy, because as they are, they're really cute patterns, you know? They look like the perfect little dolls with the little geese. So yeah, that's a fun one. I have this in a large, I think this is the large Nurge hoop, and a Mad for Minders needle minder that is of a little witch's head, and it says witch's brew on it. So yeah, I'm really loving that. As you guys can see, I've brought out my Halloween decor. I decorate early for Halloween. I just love the holidays. Like here on out, through Thanksgiving, through Christmas is like my favorite time of year, so I like to decorate. The next thing that I have been working on, so that was my only start. I'm gonna move into whips now. I pulled out my Plum Street Samplers Miss Bingley's Library. This one is really cute. I love the pattern. It definitely is an easy stitch because of the fact that there's a lot of block stitching. Last night, Friday night, we did a live, myself, Alexis, and Bridgen. So Alexis from Alexis_My Amazing World and Bridgen from the Museum Stitcher. We did a live, and then the Colorado Stitcher, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, there, Julie, she joined in as well, and we just had so much fun. But Bridgen and I were both stitching on this one, and my progress I made is I completely finished the roof line. I literally just have this tiny little portion here and my roof is done. I did make an adjustment because I did put a pride flag on mine, because the Union Jack flag, it's just not doesn't represent anything in my life or in my personal family history or anything like that. So I felt like the pride flag with the traditional rainbow colors was just a little bit more, I don't know, I liked it. It was a little bit more inviting in my opinion, and so I wanted to make the changes. I'm super happy with this project. I am stitching this on a, I want to say that this is, there we go, 36 count Winter Moon Edinburgh linen, and I'm obsessed. I love it. It's a super fun project. I am using all of the called for Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks, so the variegation is beautiful. anything that had to do with the pride flag, I just pulled from stash. I had some DMCs that I had gotten. I think actually my aunt had given me a few of them, and then I had randomly purchased some just while I was out and about at the store, just primary colors. So I really like it. I don't know, I think it looks cute. So it's been a fun one. It definitely, like I said, it was perfect for our live last night because it was block stitching. Not that I got very much stitching done, but it was super fun. So my next one is in another bag that I made. So I made this bag not last weekend, but the weekend prior after I'd filmed. I just pulled out my machine and decided to start using up some of that new interfacing that I purchased. And I do really like it. It's a lot thicker. It's very sturdy. You can see there's no like flex to this. I love that. So I definitely recommend. I'll link that below. It's like R&R, Bosmal R&R interfacing double-sided. So in this project bag though, I have my Ann Thomas 1854. And I decided to pull this one back out just because I felt like I hadn't given it some love in quite a bit of time. I'm using the called for DMCs for this one. So this is a huge floss ring. They're absolutely beautiful. I would definitely go for the DMCs. I know that it gives you the DMCs as a conversion to the original called fors, but I definitely recommend stitching it with the DMCs. Not only is it a lot more affordable, but they're absolutely stunning. So I am stitching this on a 36 count spiced honey. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the corner because I have a huge piece of fabric. So this is spiced honey though. It is beautiful. And I do have a needle in here, so mind that, but here is my progress. So last time you guys saw it, I only had this first rose complete. So I completed all of the other motifs that were around. So like all of the rose buds that were around it, I completed. So this one, the leaves here, the foliage, and I started going down into this leaf, and then I branched out into this more cream white rose. So I have that started. It's a lot of work because it's so many color changes. And so I pull it out and I get excited to work on it. But again, it's a lot of work. It's definitely one that I want to have in my, my completed, I want this project. I want it completed. I want it hung up on my walls. So I know that I will put the time into it. I suppose it's just a matter of, I need to focus on it, probably pick a month that I really decide that it's a focus piece. I haven't decided when that'll be though. And I don't know if I mentioned, but it's a color and cotton fabric, a 36 count color and cotton fabric, spiced honey. So yeah, I'm really liking that. I think the project bag is super fun. I did like this little swirly kind of bright pink interior fabric. So that one's been fun. I like its new little project bag. I think I'm gonna make little tags for my project bags and have them hanging off the corners with some little clips or something so that I can know what project is in them without having to open them, because I haven't perfected the vinyl front bag yet, so we'll see. But yeah, I like this. It's really cute. I like the project and I'm happy to get even a little bit of progress on it. So my next whip that I touched in the past couple weeks is my Teresa Kogut's Come to the Garden. This is a sal. I believe it's like a Teresa Kogut sal or Stitch Teresa Kogut, something of that sort, on Instagram. And I saw one of my Instagram friends pull out this pattern and I absolutely loved it, so I had to go and buy it and kit it up. You guys know that the only qualms I have with this project are the fact that it does call for so many different kinds of flosses. I'm not sure how I feel about patterns that do that, just because I feel like it makes it a little bit less accessible. I know that they give DMC equivalents, but a lot of the time for us stitchers, we see a cover photo and we're so in love with that photo that it's like, okay, well, I have to get the called for, That was me with this one. I felt like the cover photo was really good quality. It's a good, clear picture, and it's very beautiful. I love the representation of the colors, so kudos to her for the good photography. And with this one, I am stitching this on a 36 count fawn by Picture This Plus. So here's the fabric itself, because I do have a rather large piece. This is probably my favorite neutral that I've ever used. And It'll look a little funky because I actually had the frog visit me last weekend here, and I did have to rip back some. So last time you guys saw, I did have the orange flower down here almost complete, I want to say, and I did have to rip that back and restart it. And then I also decided to go up into here just the other night and almost complete this little section of the border. I just felt like it was a good little fun, you know, 30-40 minutes of stitching. So I enjoy that. It's so pretty. I can't wait for the border to be complete. I know it's just the tiniest portion of it, but it's so beautiful. I'm just, yeah, obsessed with this one. That Reminders Needle Minder. And again, 36 count fawn by Picture This Plus. It's just a great neutral. I think I said this in the last one, but it's more of a sandstone neutral rather than a brown yellow or a, like, I don't know, really warm. It's just the perfect in between. And I think the modeling on it is just gorgeous. So yeah, that's a fun one. I enjoyed pulling that out, and I am, as I said, using all the called fors, which is a mix of Classic Colorworks, DMCs, Gentle Arts, and Weeks Dye Works. So it really is a little bit of everything, but it's a fun one. I mean, look at those colors. They're so beautiful. I love it. They're so pretty. So it's worth it. And I have that in a bag that Alexis made me with the vinyl front and the paisley back. I just thought it was like very spring and summer, and I don't know, it made me happy. So I wanted to pair it with this project. So that was a fun one. I've been liking that. That is all my cross stitching whips and all of my starts for the past 2 weeks. So I didn't do that much stitching, at least it didn't seem like it to me, but I did get some knitting done. So before I move into the knitting, I'm gonna go ahead and insert a clip here of who won the bobbin box, as well as the little bobbin winder and all of the little bobbins themselves. So I'll insert that clip here. All right, so congratulations to whoever that was. Again, please let me know if you do not have a Instagram and you would prefer to use a email, and I will give you my email address. So yeah, congrats to the winner. So I'm gonna move right into knitting. I've been doing quite a bit of knitting this week. I will actually start with my finish. So last week, when I filmed, or I should say 2 weeks ago when I filmed, I showed you guys a ball of yarn that my daughter was just obsessed with. And right away, she told me she wanted a scarf, but I actually went through her scarves that I knit her last year. I prefer to knit her shawls, so I knit her triangle shawls, and she actually has a triangle shawl. Although it's a lighter weight, that's almost the same exact colors. It was a rainbow ball of yarn that was very bright. So I decided I would knit her a sweater. And I finished it. So here's her little sweater. It's so cute. This is called flashing. You see how it's almost looks like the side of an eyeball? That is what happens on these smaller circumference, the way that it ends up knitting up if you're not alternating balls. And I only had one ball of this yarn. I could have taken that one ball, caked it into two, and alternated and done like helical knitting or something of the sort, but I was just thinking, you know, it's so bright and funky that it's not really gonna matter, and it looks super cute on her. So yeah, this is her little sweater. She's 4 years old, and so I just, I didn't use a pattern. I just know about the size for my gauge that I needed to use, and there is this math pattern, I don't know what, a math equation, I suppose is what you'd call it, online, and you just have to type into Google like sweater math or things along the sort, knitting sweater maths, things like that, and it'll give you the percentage of stitches that you need to make into your armholes and the percentage that you need to make the back and the front. So that'll help you with dividing up the sleeves and everything. But yeah, I just did a basic simple raglan and it fits her really well. I will insert a picture of her here. We're planning on, at least this is my idea, is planning on getting her some longer tutus to wear with this so she can wear it in the winter with some thick knit tights. But yeah, she really loves that, so that was super fun. The next project I finished, I'm gonna have to insert a picture of the pattern here because I cannot remember the name of this for the life of me. It's not the Tanga, I don't know. I'll insert the picture, but here is that one. So as you can see, I have waist yarn, which is this white yarn here, because I just need to pick up the sleeves and knit them, and I'm done with this. So this is a nice little lightweight fall sweater. It has this beautiful lace cable yoke. You can pick up here and do a like 3-needle bind off, kind of like an I-cord edging sort of deal, but I don't even think I'm gonna do that. I like the neckline a lot. It's just a beautiful sweater. I knit this with the colorway Cinnamon, and it is Bio Shetland's fingering weight base. I think it's like BC Garn Bio Shetland or something of the sort there, and it's the colorway Cinnamon, as I said. And it also has a cable detail that runs underneath the arm, and the ribbing is actually like this alternating sort of knit purl, and I really liked that. So that was fun. It's a beautiful color. You can see the variegation in the yarn. It's just lovely. So yeah, it's a bit more of a rustic wool, but to me, it's very comfortable to wear against the skin, and this hasn't been blocked yet, so I'm thinking it's gonna block and bloom really well and just even out my stitches even more. I did spray some water up on the top portion so that I could see what it would look like, kind of more a little bit blocked out, but I haven't actually done a deep soak on it. So yeah, I'm excited about that. It's really pretty. I just need to knit the sleeves now, and that will be a finished sweater. I decided though, because I was kind of in the mood for knitting, that I would cast on another sweater. I'll put a picture of the sweater here. This is sweater number 13 from My Favorite Things Knitwear. I really do love this designer. I want to say that she is Danish, maybe Norwegian, something like that. I'm not quite sure. But I just started the turtleneck, and I have gotten to the point where it's turned inside out, and it is, of course, the broken rib. So it's a little hard to see, especially because this is a rustic wool that I'm using and I haven't blocked it yet, so it hasn't quite bloomed. I'm knitting this on my Kogut interchangeables, which is what I use for everything, and I'm using just this beautiful cream colored wool, and I do have the skeins of it in a bag here, so let me show you what the skeins look like. This is Lore from the Fiber Company. So very rustic, kind of worsted weight yarn, but I really love it. It's just the perfect creamy white. As you can see, so my shirt is like white. This is what I would say is definitely a pure white, and this is just a beautiful creamy shade. So I really love turtlenecks, and I love a good oversized sweater. So I'm gonna knit either the medium or the large. I haven't decided. I cast it on for the large neckline, and because I'm just an experienced knitter, I figure I will just not increase my raglan as deep if I decide I don't want to do the large, but I do want to use as much of the yarn as I can because I have 6 skeins of it, and I also would like it to be, you know, very oversized. I would like it to be, if I ever have kids again and I'm pregnant in the fall, winter months, that I can wear it over my belly, if it becomes an heirloom piece, because this is wool that will last a lifetime. It's a little bit more rustic, but that gives you durability and definitely sustainability across the board. So I want it to be a size that will fit a lot of different people. So yeah, I just have the turtleneck, which it's definitely a fun construction. I feel like the way that they work out the construction of their patterns is just lovely. So this is the inside of what broken rib looks like. It's kind of funky looking, but I like this texture actually. I think it'd be really cute as like sleeves for a sweater and just do stockinette for the body or something. But yeah, it has you like knit this the right side out, and then you do a wrap and turn so that you can have it on the inside. So when people roll down their turtleneck, it's the right side of the broken rib facing outward. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Just a fun little pattern, and it's definitely been an easy one so far, easy to follow. I definitely recommend the My Favorite Things knitwear based off of this pattern at least. Although I haven't looked at their size range, and I will say there's a lot of knitting companies and designers, particularly like non-US based, that I found don't have amazing size ranges. So I'll have to look into that, and I'll let you guys know next time I film what I feel about their size ranges. But like I said, I'm gonna knit a medium or a large. I haven't quite decided. I just want it to be very oversized, very cozy, very warm, kind of like something that I can wear outside when it's snowing without a jacket on top. Because we do get, in February actually, a heavy snowfall in Washington. So that's kind of what I'm going for there. I did make a little bit more progress on my little lap blanket I'm working on, and this I'm knitting with Patton's Chunky, and this is a Shetland blend. It's a 25% Shetland wool with 75% acrylic, which I prefer because I'm going to be washing this in a machine and everything. So I did get a few more rows in on there because you guys remember I was 1 row off from my joined second ball last time. So I got quite a few more rows, like 7 or 8 more rows. And I'm just knitting away. I'm going to knit until I run out of yarn. So I have, this is my second ball that I'm working on. I'll knit halfway through a third ball and then start my decreases. So I think it'll be a good little tiny square, which works for me because I have a rocking chair in the corner of my living room that I want to put this on. And right now I have like a wool kind of rose pink blanket on there, but I would like to have a cream blanket on there. So yeah, I'm excited about this. Because it's stockinette, it's gonna stretch quite a bit as well. And I think it'll look super cute. So that'll be fun. As far as my knitting though, the only other thing I cast on, I'll insert a picture here of the pattern. This is the half and half triangle wrap by Pearl Soho. And I have seen so many people knit these in the knitting community, and I have always wanted to cast one on. Recently though, I was watching Inga from, not Fiber Tales, I can't remember what her YouTube is. I'll insert here what her YouTube name is. But if you're a knitter or you're interested in watching knitting podcasts, I definitely recommend. But I was also watching Amy Palco, and she has knit quite a few of these, and I love her colors, but I think that she had used Holst Super Soft for some of hers, and I have quite a good stash of Holst Super Soft cones because it ships from Denmark, and because of that, to make it like worth the shipping, although the shipping's not bad. I want to say I did order this a couple years ago, so it was like $14 for 4 cones, and that's a great deal because the cones are 500 grams a piece. So I decided though to go ahead and cast on the half and half triangle wrap Pearl Soho pattern. It is free. You can go on their website and find it there, or you can just log on to Ravelry and it gives you a direct link. Ravelry is a great resource when it comes to patterns, free patterns, knitting and crochet. It's just, yeah, really fun. There's also community boards and community tabs and pages in there. So I don't know, I like it. They've made a lot of changes to their site recently as well, so that it's easier to access things, and they make it to where you can report issues, bugs, things like that. Well, anywho, I'm knitting away on it because I left it off in the middle of a row, of course, so you guys can't see my progress, but I'm knitting the extra large version. There is a large and an extra large. So it's like you cast on 290 stitches with a 3mm needle. So I'm using, of course, my Kogut interchangeables, and I'm doing black. So the half and half wrap, the way it folds over, it allows you to see both layers or just one layer at a time. So I think I'm either gonna do black with a gray or black with a like dark cinnamon rusty brown shade. Because I really like the blacks and browns together, especially when they're these more rustic wools that have slight tonal and variegation. The black, I will say, from Holst, there's no variegation. It is very solid black. It's very well dyed. But yeah, 500 gram cone, it's massive. I mean, it is the size of my head. And I just thought this would be a good, rhythmic, nice, easy knit. And it definitely is because it's all stockinette. So I'm loving this. It's been a fun project, and I definitely think that I, like every knitter says, will knit more. I'm excited about it. It's been a fun one. So I have that as far as my knitting. And I do actually have some acquisitions, and I know we're in our no-buy. I've already failed. So we did loosen the rules of the no-buy that you could kit up projects that you already had. And so I decided to finish kitting up my women's suffragette. I'll insert a picture of that pattern here. And I also kitted up the Shepherd's Song. And the reason I did that is because I got to meet Lisa from Cross by Floss, if you are a Mirabilia lover, a Nora lover, anything of that sort, definitely go give Lisa's channel a like, a subscribe, a follow, whatever it may be. She just has amazing, beautiful projects. She is moving right now, so I don't know what her content is going to look like over the next month. You know how it is with moving, but it's just, she's amazing, and she is even more amazing in person. Just how she is on her channel is how she came across in video. So it was amazing. It was super fun. And when we went down, we met up at our LNS. She, as I said, is moving, so it won't be her LNS any longer, but my LNS is Denise over at Threadneedle Street. That is in Issaquah, Washington. And while we were there, I kitted up those two projects. And I did, because I'm getting close to get it where I'll be at 2,000, or I'm actually already over 2,000 subscribers. So I'm trying to get together some giveaway items. And so I've purchased some patterns. I'm not sure what I'll include all into one giveaway, but I did purchase some patterns. So I'm gonna show those now. So this is a Tisket, a Tasket. This is a Rosewood Manor. It looks like she also includes some freebies, which I love. I think that this designer always includes freebies, and I do love that. So this was just one that was quite popular, and I've seen it kind of floating around Flosstube over the last year, and I really love it. It's beautiful. I also really love blues, so I definitely loved this piece. I think that the picture on the cover is really accurate as well, so I loved that. The next thing I picked up is the Scarlet House Floral Motif Sampler. Let me just take this out of the plastic because it is quite glary. So I have been wanting this project for quite some time, and I absolutely love it. So it's just beautiful. I don't have any of the flosses for it or anything, and I actually don't have plans to kit it up anytime soon. Since we're moving into, like, in my eyes, we're moving into fall winter already. Like for instance, today, it's a really gray day. Even though it's been just roasting hot outside, it's super gray today. So I just kind of in the mindset of fall. I really want it to transition. So I don't think I'll start this one anytime soon, but I did actually purchase 2 of these. So yeah, I'll definitely making decisions on what I want to insert into giveaway for my 2,000 subscriber giveaway, because you guys know I'm super appreciative, and I love all your guys' support. You're amazing. So the next thing I purchased is my first Haid. So this is a Heaven and Earth Designs, and I purchased Supersize Saint Nick in his study, Max Colors. This is artwork by Scott Gustafsson. I think that's how you pronounce that. And here it is. I don't know, I just loved it. I know I've mentioned in a previous video, I'll insert a picture so you guys can see it really well. I know I mentioned in previous videos that I decorate like super traditional Christmas, and this to me just screamed my version of like that traditional like 90s, early 2000s Christmas, where it was like little toys and trinkets all over. My grandma always would have little trinkets and like nativity scenes, and my mom always decorates for Christmas, and I love the greens, the emeralds, the bright ruby reds, just very classic traditional Christmas. Or so I see it in my eyes. That's my version of Christmas, I should say. And yeah, this just reminded me of it. I love the Santa Claus in there, the little owl. I loved it a lot. So I did get that before our no-buy. I purchased that when they had their sale at the very end of last month. So that was before our no-buy. So I did do good on that one. And the next thing is actually another bag I made for my sewing, because you guys know I've been loving sewing. So I turned this into a massive project bag. So this is actually one of the biggest project bags I've ever made. And it just has like a library, I guess, like a bookstore. And the back looks like this. And I did use the Basel interfacing, which I am obsessed with. I definitely think I'll transition to using this for more projects. And for the interior, I just did this. It almost reminds me, back in like the 80s and 70s, a lot of the time when you'd open a book, it'd have this weird, like bright colored, it almost looks like watercolor style on the interior of the covers. So I just chose some of that for the lining. but super colorful and fun. The fabric was so colorful and fun that I just had to go with that. And Alexis and Bridget helped me pick out the fabric for the lining. So yeah, I love that. It's been really fun. I don't think I sewed anything else, but you guys might remember that I did have a large Halloween panel that was a barn with some old broken down tractors, as well as a bunch of carved pumpkins. So last weekend I headed off to the grocery store. Actually, I went to Walmart, I think. Yeah, Walmart. And I picked up a couple of items, one of them being a canvas. I picked up the largest canvas they had, which was like a 26 by 36 or something of the sort, close to that, 24 by 36, something like that. And I picked up some fusible spray, like an adhesive spray for fabrics, and I created a canvas. So I have this hanging on a wall that like joins my kitchen and my dining room. So I'll insert a picture of that here because that was super fun and very easy to make. I took like an old credit card to like smooth out the fabric over after I sprayed it, and it was just super easy and it looks so good. So I'm really loving that, and I do have the potential to take the fabric off the canvas if I ever decide to. I don't know if I will, but even then, if the canvas deteriorates or something goes a wonky, I can pull the fabric back and throw it in the wash and, you know, redo it. So that was really fun. It was a fun project. That's pretty much all I have when it comes to anything having to do with crafts. But I do have a new book that I purchased. So I had seen Bridget mention this book, and when she had talked about the plot line, I had to go and get it. So it's called Guild. I want to say that's what it's called. Yeah, the Plated Prisoner series. So I haven't started it yet, but it looks really good. I also remembered as well that I had bought a book quite some time ago. It's in this bookshelf somewhere, but I don't want to dig around for it. I bought a book, I think it was called Crave, and I did read that. I started it one evening and finished it the next morning. It was a good book, it was okay. I ended up going and getting the Audible, like the second and third from Audible, but I don't know if it was the way that it was like, the way that the person was reading the books or the way that they were trying to have the different voices. I don't know what it was, but I didn't like the Audible versions of the second and third book. So those were okay. I ended up finishing up the series and I just thought it was okay. I wouldn't read it again kind of books. So that was the Crave series, kind of like a supernatural romance deal. But yeah, I'm excited to start this one. It looks like it's a decent size, so maybe it'll take me a couple of days to read this one and I will enjoy it. So that will be fun. I don't have much details on it, but I trust Bridget. I think we have pretty similar styles when it comes to books and just taste in general. So yeah, it's been fun. I've been decorating for Halloween over here. It's like my daughter's favorite season and mine as well. So yeah, that is pretty much all I have. Again, congratulations to whoever won the bobbins. And I'm still collecting stuff for my next giveaway because I do want to make it a big one because you guys have got me surpassed 2,000 subscribers. So, you know, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. All of your kindness really has just, you know, made me realize how loving and kind this community is and how much love is still left in this world for all of us. And it just makes you feel accepted and embraced, and it's awesome. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you are interested in sticking around for book talk, that will be the next clip here. So I hope you guys enjoy. But if that was everything, please do give me a like and subscribe. You can turn on the bell to get notified when I post videos, but it definitely does help me when you guys subscribe to my channel because it helps out on your algorithm. So I appreciate it. And like I said, if you want to stick around for books, I'll catch you in the next slide. Bye, everyone. All right, everyone. Thank you if you've stuck around for my book talk. I also did dig out the book that I was talking about. So this is the one that I finished in 2 days. Well, I started it late one night and then finished it the next afternoon. It's called Crave. I couldn't remember if that's what I called it or not, and I didn't want to misspeak. So yeah, it was okay. We'll put it that way. But next, I wanted to dive into nonfiction because you guys know that that is what I love most. And I wanted to talk about some food history books because I actually really enjoy food history. I like kind of those oddities in history, and food is a huge one because not only is it something that we can follow progressively just through archaeology and studies, because a lot of the time we find like kind of bathroom pits. And so that helps us understand what people ate in the past. But not only that, it also influences trade greatly. And so it's very fascinating to me. So I pulled out a couple of books that I might recommend to someone who is also interested. This is one that I really liked, A History of the World in 6 Glasses. Really good. It looks like it was on the Fortune's 2005 list of the smartest books we know, which is pretty funny. Forbes, Wired, the Smithsonian, USA Today, all kind of like the New York Book Times. Definitely a good one, Wall Street Journal. So I recommend that, it was good. The Empire of Tea, The Remarkable History of the Plant That Took Over the World, another one that's very interesting. And it's a good small book, so it won't take much time to get through it, or even to listen to the Audible version. The Empire of Tea, so that was a good one. If you're a coffee lover, which, you know, I'm a Washingtonian, so of course I am. I've got my iced latte here. Cheers. I had to drink it before it got all melty. This is Uncommon Grounds, the history of coffee and how it transformed the world. So it pretty much starts from the very beginning of coffee's origin story and how it influenced trade and society and, you know, caffeine addiction. So very interesting, really good. The Washington Post, of course, made a comment on the book. So I really enjoyed it. It was a good one. It's a thick book. Wait, I was wondering where I put this. This is like one of those little tiny, oh my goodness, I lose everything. This is like a tiny bookmark my sister got me. I was wondering where I put it. So apparently it was in the front of this book. So that was a good one. And here is another one, An Edible History of Humanity, another Tom Standage book, just as the first one. He definitely has quite a few different books that are about food and drink history. Very fascinating. I just thought that would be a fun one and a little bit different, sidetracked off of my Tudor history. But I mean, if you think of it, look at the coffee house and what it became in Tudor England, and kind of like these trading ports where all the drama was spread and all the news. And so very interesting. I highly recommend these 4. Again, a really, really big recommendation of mine is to check out used bookstores to try to find books like this, as well as thrift books. So Thrift Books is a online store. They have a website as well as an app. I know that I use the app on an Apple device, and I think that it goes on to Android as well, because my sister has an Android device. And if you are looking for a good source for books, not just for selling books, but just like you like BookTube, you like book TikToks. My sister has an Instagram as well as a TikTok account that is called Lost in Paperbacks. So if you like, she likes horror, she likes natural history, she likes history in general, a lot of nonfiction, but she gets a lot of arcs and things like that. So she recommends books that, you know, might spark a lot of you guys' interest, and I thought you guys might enjoy. So again, that's Lost in Paperbacks. So those are my recommendations when it comes to books this week. And, you know, thank you so much, guys, for sticking around with me and appreciating my love for the odd history that there is. I think that that's everything that I have to say today. Yeah, I'm just going over. I've started journaling, junk journaling, and I make a junk journal page for each Flosstube, and so that's been super fun. I've really been enjoying that, and I think I've covered everything. So hope you guys enjoyed, and hey, enjoy the rest of your weekend, or whatever day of the week it is for you. Enjoy and have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Bye.